ripping plots apart for you.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Hey, what's going on there, Plotaholics fans? I guess you guys thought we weren't going to be doing a live show again, but here we are. Our own Shane Wilson is live, boots on the ground at the Indigo Moon Film Festival in beautiful Fayetteville, North Carolina. Right. Shane, how the hell are you, brother?
I'm good, man. The weather is great here. This beautiful Hay Street, downtown Fayetteville. If Michelle could pan around and show you some of the festivities here. We got some live music. Got some live music up on the corner. We've got a man inside here. We are at Skyview here, which is an event venue. This is where the after party for night one at the Indigo Moon Film Festival is being held. There's a dude in here playing saxophone with a wireless microphone. He's just rolling around, man. He's just walking around inside with the saxophone. He's doing it up for sure. So I need him. I need the guy with the saxophone and the guy with the electric guitar up there at the wine cafe to get together and make a super group.
I love it. I love it.
So night one started with introductions and everything, and also a screening of The Dog Doc, which is a documentary that focuses on telling the story of Dr. Martin Goldstein. And he's a doctor that uses like a combination of homeopathic medicine and traditional Western medicine. So it's a really sort of heart-wrenching story. There's this dog in there, Waffles, who was sick, and everybody in the crowd was crying because Waffles was not feeling too good in there. And he was a real man. But it's a real good movie. It is right now a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's a great film, and I know that we cover a lot of fiction and narrative type stuff, but if you're a documentary type person, you should definitely check out The Dog Doc.
All right, you hear that, Plotaholics fans? Make sure if you're down with documentaries, check out Dog Doc. Had everyone in the crowd in tears, and I'm almost in tears just thinking about it.
Michelle cried the entire time.
Man, wearing even more hats.
But Brian, one of the reasons that we wanted to go live from down here is because we have access to filmmakers that are in town to screen their movies and everything. And I've got a couple here with me tonight. Wendy Keeling is over here talking to another guy. Let's see if we can get her attention. Wendy, let's talk about it. Yeah, Wendy Keeling here. Wendy has a short screening tomorrow, right?
Yes,
tomorrow
I
evening.
it's at 8.
Yeah, tomorrow evening at 8 o'clock. I did check that. I did some fact checking, and I found out that Wendy is accurate. Yeah. So Wendy, why don't you tell us a little bit about the short that you have screening tomorrow?
So the short I have screening tomorrow is called Passpartum. It was written by Jeffrey Howe, who will be joining us tomorrow. He's not here right now. I miss you. There's a party. Where are you?
There's wine and beer.
Wine and beer.
But no booze. I mean, no whiskey, which is what I was hoping for.
He actually likes scotch.
Oh, well, yeah, there you go.
So if you need him, buy him a scotch.
You're right. Yeah, that's the move.
It's a family thriller, if I can say those two terms.
Family-friendly thriller.
It's a family-friendly thriller about a young boy who finds out basically a history of his family that's not so good. And I'm telling this horribly. Jeff would be so much better because he's a writer. But anyway, it's a family thriller that follows the history of the family overcoming genetics.
Oh, overcoming genetics.
Oh.
Supernatural. It's done quite well. It just won Best Horror at the Toronto Indie Film Festival.
Wow.
Just found out about that, I think, this week. And we started the festival circuit about a month and a half ago, and we are so excited to be here.
Wow.
That is cool.
The winner of the Toronto Independent Film.
Yes.
Wow. Those are some accolades. Yeah, so that is screening. If you're here in Fayetteville, that's screening in the 8 o'clock block tomorrow night of the short films. So
there's some great films in the block. Honestly, you can't go wrong to come see the 8 o'clock block. Come see all the films. All the films are fantastic. The Indigo Moon Festival does some fantastic screenings. You really should come out.
Yeah. Now, Brian, she was telling me earlier about this movie that she's going to send us called Clown College. Can you
Oh,
tell
boy.
us a little bit about
Is
Clown
it
College?
scary? Because I'm afraid of clowns.
Clown College is wrong,
It's
is
wrong.
what she said.
Wrong.
Just it's something I think I had in a nightmare that just wouldn't go away.
Yeah.
It's a story about a young woman overcoming grieving her father, who was not necessarily as nice to her, and perhaps it's a dream, perhaps it's not.
Oh, okay, one of those
Goes to
sort of
some-
situations.
Ooh, that is right up my alley.
Right, yeah. Well, two stories here that go to deep, dark places about
Yes.
family and
Yes.
genetics. So yeah, I'm learning a lot about Wendy Keeling here tonight. Wendy, do you have any features in the works or any features on the shelves already?
I have a short film that we're finishing up post called My Dear Max, which is an LGBT love story. I have some features that are in development, and I can't really talk too much about them.
Okay.
But I hope that
Understand.
we will be starting to film perhaps in 2020. And I also was just named the creative director for the Orlando International Film Festival. So I'm looking for
All right.
your films.
All right.
And those films. Yeah. Very
That is
cool. Yeah.
awesome. Congratulations.
Maybe to come down
I
and.
don't know.
All right. Well, we'll see. I guess I got other things now
It's
to talk to Wendy
Orlando,
about. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I got to get
Why
down
not?
there. I got to get down to Orlando. When is that film festival?
May 28th through June 1st.
That is the perfect time for me
It
to come
really
to
is.
Orlando.
There's Disney, there's films, there'll be parties, there's a black tie thing.
I like that.
There's children film, there's an art thing. It's huge.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, awesome. Well, congratulations on being
Thank you.
appointed the chair of that. That's excellent. I'm going to ask your buddy to step in here.
I'm gonna
and
go
yeah,
away.
absolutely. Thank you so much, Wendy. Wendy, everybody.
All right.
This guy's awesome.
Yeah, so welcome, Rob. I don't know anything else about him other than
What's
Rob.
happening?
Hey, Rob, what's your last name?
It's Underhill.
Rob, it's Underhill.
Rob Underhill. Rob, it's Underhill. Okay.
So Rob has a feature screening here tomorrow. What time is that?
That's at 8:15 at the museum.
Okay, 8:15 at the Arts Council, right?
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah. So talk to us a little bit about your feature.
Sure, it's called Fever Dreams, and it's a little bit like Tales from the Crypt and Creep Show
Oh.
and Twilight Zone.
I'm
A little
in.
bit like types of series. You've got a narrator that sort of guides you through the stories,
Yeah.
and it's 4 vignettes, 4 stories that give you fever dreams. That's the idea.
I like that. That's very cool, man. So aside from Twilight Zone and Creep Show, what kinds of inspiration do you draw from? Or
Sure. Well, I draw from all different types of places. This project was kind of special. The writer Julian and Paul, his son, both contributed most of the material for writing, and I directed. One piece of mine. There's like a little kind of comedic short in there, a short vignette that kind of loosens things up a little bit.
yeah,
And that's one that I wrote. But basically, it's things that are kind of like in those kind of ways of thinking. I don't know, it's it's a lot of fun. It's like the ideas. It's fun. It's kind of like parables. You got morals to the story.
you know,
That tell you.
I wrote recently for the website about the appeal of anthology style storytelling, and I wonder if once this thing blows by,
Hey, perfectly appropriate.
yeah, if you could talk a little bit about what. Thank you.
Is that your ride, Shane?
I feel like we're in the opening act of a zombie movie because the hazardous materials bus just drove by.
You better be careful, Shane. Make sure your headshot game is on.
At least going to be patient 1, not 0. But yeah. So I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about what you think the appeal of anthology style storytelling is. Like, what is it about those short vignettes that really is like sort of making a bit of a comeback?
I mean, it's definitely been trends towards like shorter storytelling, like in just media in general, YouTube, whatnot. 30-second clips to a few-minute stories. So people like the shorter stories format. So when you can break something into smaller stories, it can be more consumable, like something that people can like grasp on, do a little easier, and feel like they're having a more full experience. It's tougher when you have like a 2-hour movie where you're like taking them for the full ride to tell a really compelling story these days, and we only hear about kind of the best ones. And, and it can be a little easier to take something into pieces and then to tell stories that where the pieces are associated with each other, but they're not it's not the same story, but they're like each one is its own story. But they all kind of relate in some way, and that's sort of what we were after. We really wanted to capitalize on this kind of missing element with TV in general, like with Twilight Zone. You know, there's kind of a desire for that kind of programming that doesn't really exist right now. There's some things are trying to kind of go in that direction, but
well, you don't see it in theaters very much, at least, right?
That's true,
on television, it's a much more popular form. And I was wondering, do you prefer to work in long form narrative or shorter form narrative?
I like both a lot. So I've done over 50 short films and a number of feature films, and I enjoy both. I'd say I probably prefer the long form. It's just bigger compositions to work with. It's a lot of fun.
Very cool, man. Hey, I should have asked Wendy this. We'll be sure to put her information up on the description. But why don't you tell people where they can find you and online and where they can learn more about your work?
You can find me at robunderhill.com. And from there, you got all the links to all the different social media applications. Then Fever Dreams is Fever Dreams series on Facebook. So that's where you get the latest on that. And it's been designed. We shot it so it could be a TV series or a feature film.
Oh, I like that.
Here's could be the feature film version is playing. We opened with we actually opened at the Big City Film Festival and we got best TV series.
Okay.
But then the weekend after that, we were in Asheville, North Carolina. We got best feature film second place.
Oh man!
So it's kind of been playing both fields and successfully. So we're very excited.
I like
about that.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on all that success, and we look forward to seeing your film.
Okay.
And I'm going to wrap things up here. Rob, go inside, get your beer, get your wine, get you another one, man. It's a party. Skyview here in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Brian, anything on your end?
Oh, well, I mean, I'm totally interested in a lot of these films. You know, a lot of what Rob, was discussing with his films. I mean, come on, Tales from the Crypt meets Creep Show. That's my kind. That's my kind of flick right there.
Yeah, he's into your concepts for sure. Yeah,
absolutely. And I made sure to put robunderhill.com in the comments below here on the Plotaholics Facebook page. Yeah, I mean, it just seems like I'm actually kind of jealous right now that I'm not down in Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Yeah. Talking earlier, we got to get you down here next year.
Yeah, I think that would be really, really cool.
So yeah, I think that's on the docket.
So I'm getting ready to jump into something. There he is.
I hear him.
All right, I got all four of these.
All right, here we go. Brian.
Yes, Shane.
Am I on?
You are on, sir. You are on and you are live.
Excellent. Brian, thanks for bringing me in. Sorry, we've had a little bit of wine tonight. And so that's
really?
a little bit dicey, but I just want to introduce you to some of the folks that we have here. I won't introduce you because I don't trust myself to get it right. But I'll let them introduce themselves. John, take it away.
Hey, I'm John Sexton. We have a short film here called Curb Service.
Hey, I'm Donna Whitmore Sexton, and believe it or not, I'm married to this guy, and we have a film called Curb Service.
Curb Service, yes.
Hi, I'm Brittany Batterton. We have a film called The Dog Doc here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we talked about the dog doc earlier and how much it made all of us cry like little children.
Oh my gosh, it was
So sorry.
awful.
Yeah. Now, John has what may be, Brian, I don't know if you can see this, but John has what may be the greatest jacket.
That is big pimpin' right there. That is some big pimpin' jacket right there, baby.
Yes,
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
festival jacket.
that's right.
But no one has better shoes
Oh.
than me.
You got to get the shoes then.
You gotta get my shoes.
Woo! Look at those. Look at them. Wow. You all. Now,
It's a real
what's crazy,
situation.
Shane, is that you're in North Carolina. That is Four Horsemen territory. So they are woo, styling and profiling. Woo!
Brian, you guys are Four Horsemen territory. You are styling and profiling. Ric Flair style.
That's all we care about.
Stick around to the end of the broadcast and you'll watch me wrestle John Sexton for this jacket.
That's right.
I don't want to arm wrestle you. I want to physically fight you for that
Oh,
jacket.
no. Oh,
I don't think we're going to win, Shane. Shane, he looks like he
John-
can you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he does look like he could take me for sure. Yeah. If hair is an indicator of strength, a la Samson, then he's got me. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your short film?
Okay, our short film, Curb Service, In the 1950s and 60s, curb service was what restaurants had, where car hops came out and served you food at your car. Well, our curb service is a very different type of curb service that came around in the 1960s and is a real thing. And when most people see our short film, once they finish laughing, they say, "How did you come up with that crazy idea?" And I say, "Well, it's a real thing." And they say, "No, it's not." And so I have to prove to them that this type of curb service is a real thing and it really exists. It's a dark comedy. It's about 13 minutes long.
I love it. Do you work in short films exclusively, or do you do feature work?
No, I've done films for about 25 years for other people, and now I'm doing films for myself. This is our second foray into the festival circuit with the short film. Our next film will be a feature.
Awesome, man. Why don't you tell people where they can find you online?
Oh, where they can find us online?
Yeah, man.
Well, they'll have to find me at Facebook under John R. Sexton right now.
Yeah, are you on IMDb?
I am on IMDb.
Hey.
Yes, I have an extensive IMDb page.
Hey, yeah, that does matter. Absolutely.
Yes, you can find me there.
For those who are uninitiated, IMDb is the Internet Movie Database, and he's on it. So
Whoa!
you can find him under director and jacket aficionado.
That's correct.
I think jacket aficionado is really where you're like.
There you go.
Yeah, yes, absolutely, and shoe aficionado here.
Oh yeah.
Anything
Yeah.
that you would like to say about his work?
I would just like to say that I have been with this man for almost 30 years, and he is brilliant. He is funny, and he makes my life complete.
Are you guys gonna renew your vows right now?
Right now, I am a
Wow.
minister.
Is there a vow renewal going on here on the Plotaholics live, Shane?
I know, man. I know, Brian. It's a lot going on here. Well,
I have money problems. I can talk to my executive.
well, John, we'll get you back up here in a minute when I wrestle you for that jacket. But let me scoot over here and talk to Brittany for a little bit. Brittany, you are here representing the opening night film, Dog Doc.
Dog Doc, yes.
What can you tell us about the Dog Doc?
So
Just what is it about?
It's about the pioneer of integrative animal medicine, Dr. Marty. We followed his clinic in New York for a few years, and his clients and his integrative treatments on animals, and he's been named the miracle worker.
Yeah.
So yeah, we follow his clinic, and
that's it, right? And a charming dog named Waffles. I won't tell you anything about Waffles, but you'll show up to the Dog Doc for the premise, but you'll stay for the Waffles.
we'll stay for the waffles.
That's right. Yeah, for better or worse. Now, how did you get attached to this film?
So I've worked with the director for almost 6 years, working on different films and stuff. And she actually met Dr. Marty 28 years ago when she was living in New York City. She had a really sick dog, and it was on a ton of medicine, and her friend referred her to Dr. Marty. So she called him up, and that was it. And her dog turned around in a matter of months. And so she always wanted to do a film about him. Because he just always takes on these crazy cases that no other vets can solve, and gets these animals healthy. And so we've done a couple projects, and things get put on the back burner, and she finally was able to direct this and do it, and that's how it came to fruition.
That's excellent. You mentioned in the Q&A after the film that you guys were working on like an educational film thing. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, so we had almost 300 hours of footage.
You filmed over 2 years, right? Is that
over 2 years?
Yeah.
And so we're hoping that we're going to edit the rest of the footage that we didn't use in the film for educational purposes, like a DVD series, to help promote this type of work at vet schools around the country, and just pet owners in general. Because it's really hard to fit all this information in 90 minutes of film. So that's what we're planning on doing.
Yeah, Brittany is a big fan of receiving pictures of your pets via email.
I am.
Yes, I've already shown her the picture of our dog.
But my email is so long, no one will remember it.
So does that mean, Shane, that I get to send her pictures of the dude?
Is it worth it?
No, Brian, your son is not a pet.
No, the cat. No, the dude, the cat version of the dude. Not the son version.
Yeah. Would you?
I'm not gonna give my email out. Actually.
Okay. Yeah, so
That's a bad idea.
she's not going to give her email out because that is a bad idea. Absolutely.
I didn't want to
How do
send
you
her a
know
picture of my cat
if you're at the
anyway.
bottom of the fourth glass of wine or at the bottom of the second glass of wine, whether or not you give your email out, right? Well, Brittany, thank you so much for talking to me. And John, I'm still eyeballing that jacket. I would be remiss if I didn't call in my new friend here. Yeah, let's get into it. No, I've already talked to that guy. Now this guy, I don't know. I just saw him there. Also, Michelle, can we pan around here? Brian, I don't know if you're seeing this, but this is a Plotaholics live studio audience.
Wow, Plotaholics live studio audience. Woo!
Yeah, that's right.
I am so jealous right now,
That's
Shane.
right. Yeah. Hey, so what's your name?
Rit Saraswat.
Rit Saraswat. Did I say that right? Killed it. I don't think I could do it right now, and I just did it. But yeah, okay. That's what happens. So what are you here promoting, or what movie are you attached to?
I made a short film called Traitor, which is premiering tomorrow.
Okay.
10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
As part of the shorts block.
Very good.
The museum. And yeah, it's something I made last year. It's about it's a neo-noir, and it's about a future USA where Muslims have to register and wear ID badges and live in their own part of the city. So it is a drama. It is kind of socially relevant. It's based on my fears of where the country could be heading.
Well.
Yeah, but it's packaged in the classic 1940s Humphrey Bogart smoke.
I kind of like that. Yeah, that aesthetic is very cool.
Yeah. We have a really great score too by a friend of mine, Mattia. So it's sort of like a jazzy score, but the visuals are slightly futuristic. So.
Very cool. Yeah, awesome. This guy also works in reality television, Brian.
Really?
Yeah. What shows have you worked on?
So,
most recently on Lindsay Lohan's.
Well, right now I'm on Surviving R. Kelly season 2.
Oh, he's on Survivor. Oh, what?
I
don't know if I should ask what I want to ask, Shane.
Kardashians.
Uh-huh.
I did lots of seasons of the Bad Girls Club. And let's see what else. Total Divas, Total Bellas. Which are
so you're just like on all of the,
Yeah, I've been doing it for about 11 years now.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
Yeah.
That's it feels like that's a pretty specific niche. Like once you crack into it, you can kind of live in that.
Absolutely, and I had no idea when I moved to LA. I was like, you know what? Everyone wants to be an actor. No one wants to write. I'll just go out and become a writer. I mean, that's really what I thought, and that's just not the case.
Right.
Everybody wants to be a writer.
Yeah.
So I took a job in reality just to like, okay, I'll just dabble in it for now, but I'll become a writer soon. And then I realized how creative you can be and how the stuff that I do in the story department ends up airing. Like there's not much of a difference between what we are cutting in story and what's airing. So
absolutely,
it's sort of a flip of scripted where you shoot first and then you piece together the story after based on what we shot. So.
Yeah, I have so many thoughts about reality television, but we don't have time to get into them now. But we're gonna have you on the Plotaholics later, Brian. We're gonna have this guy on because.
Okay.
I think look, whenever we watch any reality television, I always tip my hat to the editors, right? Because it's really those guys and girls that put together the story.
Right.
Like you're really just filming a shit ton of footage and looking for a narrative.
For sure.
And the fact that those guys can pull out a narrative out of all of that footage is really remarkable.
Yeah, I mean, especially on Bad Girls Club, which when people watch, they're like, oh, it's such a silly show, lots of fighting, but they were filming round the clock.
Yeah.
So I would then take the notes and figure out who is friending up with who is not getting along, where are the seeds being laid for this discord that happens on here. So you have to play the long game with all the stories that you're pulling. So it's actually really challenging, but if it looks effortless, that means we're doing our job.
That's absolutely. Hey, I appreciate it. I don't remember your name already. What is it again?
Rit.
Yeah. Is there somewhere online where people can go and check your stuff out?
Sure. I'm on IMDb. That new website we just heard about.
Yeah, that's the Internet Movie Database. Yes.
Brand new.
Hey, is that newfangled movie website that I've heard so much about?
Michelle, can we get a quick shot over here of John Sexton's wife, who is like just grooving real hard?
To the hip hop, the hip, the hip hop, and you don't stop the rock.
It was, yeah. He saw it. He saw it. Yeah. All right. It's Internet Movie Database. Where else?
Instagram, Rit516. I'm trying to think where else.
There are a lot of other Rits.
A lot of other events. Not well, yeah, you'd be surprised.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I probably would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it RIT?
Just RIT.
Nailed it.
RIP 516.
I can't even believe how much I've nailed this interview.
Tomorrow, I'm gonna follow up with you tomorrow.
Absolutely.
We'll see how this goes tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll just say
You'll
Rich.
be like, sorry, I don't have it.
Rum Tum Tugger.
Wow, Shane. Wow.
All right, we've got now, Brian, just one last little interview here. If I could get Pat and
Pat. It's
we might have
Pat.
to walk over here. We might have to walk over to. Hi,
It's
Wendy's
Pat.
here again.
Wendy, hello.
Here's Pat and Jan. Pat and Jan are here. Yeah,
We're being blocked.
yeah, it's okay. Pat and Jan. Are you the founders of the Indigo Moon Film Festival? Yeah. So
Oh,
a little bit about the impetus for that. Like, what was it that made you want to create this kind of event here?
Passion for film.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
That's it.
We are film producers ourselves. We've gone to so many film festivals. We even got a grant to go, an artist grant to go and study them and decide how we wanted to have one in our own community.
Yeah.
And we thought that film is such an important way of bringing the world to us. You know, you can get different ideas that you would never get anywhere else other than film.
Absolutely.
And it's such a powerful agent for change. And that's why we have as our motto, film inspires change, because we feel like film is really critical to making change happen. I mean, you think about really important films like Blackfish, Super Size Me, Inconvenient Truth, or Inconvenient Truth 2, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, these films have made differences in our lives and in the world that we live in. And it's really an important way of getting information to the masses.
Man, I had one question, but now I want to follow up on that idea with something else. Could you maybe speak to how narrative filmmaking versus documentary filmmaking can maybe attack those different needs that we have culturally? Like, what power do they have individually?
Well, I think both narrative and documentary open our minds to different things because, you know, will you ever look at a clown the same way after you see it?
Yeah, probably.
So,
I mean, maybe.
So
I've always been.
No. I'm deathly terrified of clowns, so I see them worse.
The thing is that, you know, it opens your mind to different ideas and thoughts and prospects, and also opens your mind to the storytelling process itself.
Yeah.
Because that is really what we all have inside of us, is a story to tell. And whether it's a story that we're making up or it's a story of ourselves, we have a story to tell, and film is a great way to do it.
And you said narrative as opposed to documentary. I think narrative, for example, Portrait of a Woman at Dawn is one of the films we're showing right now, and it is about abuse. It's about spousal abuse, and I think the way that those stories get told in a narrative feature or a narrative short might make it more palatable and less preachy than a documentary sometimes. Although Dog Tonight was not preachy.
Right. Yeah. It was very good, very balanced. Right. That was the thing. Whenever we started watching that documentary, I thought, if this only has success stories, then that's going to be problematic.
Yes.
But clearly it does not. Yeah, it was very real. Yeah, and the fact that it did strike that balance, I think, is really important for the story that it's trying to tell. So to go back a few steps, what is it about Fayetteville when you looked at the city? How did you know that it was ready for an event like this?
Well, we actually plotted all the film festivals in North Carolina on a map.
Yes.
And they were all around us, and there was a huge donut hole where Fayetteville was. We were like, we must fill the donut hole.
There you go. Yeah.
That was it.
That's it.
Yeah.
And so
We said there's a need, and we can do it.
Obviously, we're here in Fayetteville, a metropolitan area. There's a very vibrant arts and culture scene here. And especially with what they're doing out here with trying to unify that with the Cool Spring District and everything.
Wow.
It feels I live here, but it feels like they're trying to give the arts a place to unify themselves. And I think that's when I first moved here, I saw all of these little pockets of art, you know, and I thought if they could ever find a way to unite, they could be really powerful.
And that's why we consider downtown to be the arts district.
Absolutely.
Because that's where the Arts Council is.
Yeah.
and we have public art everywhere. And that's why we decided to locate our business here, and that's why we wanted to have the festival downtown too.
Yeah.
I mean, we could have it anywhere, but we want to have it downtown because it's just a great place. It's a great vibe down here, and it's the artistic center.
Yeah. So this is your 4th year. You're growing every year. You've added a screen this year, right? Only one screen added this year?
Well, it's not about
it's
adding
shifted.
screens. It's really shifting.
Just moving things
the
around.
Airborne and Special Operations Museum wanted to partner with us.
I gotcha.
They have a beautiful screen, and we wanted people to be able to walk a little further down the way. It's a walkable venue, and everybody should be able to walk, but we also have a van to help people who may not be able to walk.
Nice.
Or if you stop at the wine cafe and have a glass of wine
Right.
before your next
Yeah.
screening, and then you don't have time to walk, we've got the van.
I like that. That's a good.
It works.
Something on the schedule that stood out to me are these sort of like they're like intermissions that happen over at the wine cafe. Yeah, the outtakes. Can you talk a little bit about that and what's going on there?
Yeah, so we've got 2 outtakes this year. One is by Kai Murphy, who's a really excellent filmmaker in his own right, and has worked for several film festivals. He happens to be located in Fayetteville right now, which is really a blessing for us.
Excellent.
And he's going to be doing a program on social media and how it affects storytelling.
Oddly enough, yeah.
So that should be really interesting.
Very cool.
And then we've got another outtake that happens at, I think it's 5.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, it's right around that. It's right around then. You're right.
She's 5:30ish. Right there. Yeah. So, and that one is really interesting too. And that's by the folks who are down in Wilmington running Honeyhead Films.
Yeah.
And what's that called, Jen?
Let me put my glasses on.
Building Community Around Your Work. So that's really interesting too, because it's about getting a lot of folks to come and group together and be excited about the films that you're making and support you. Because really, filmmakers can't make films in the desert. You got to have the support people.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's one of the things I think that's really appealing about film is how collaborative it is. You know, as Brian and I, my co-hosts, we're both novelists, and that's such an isolated act, you know. And what's appealing to us about film, I think, is being able to work with other people and try to bring a vision to life together with other people. So this is the 4th year of the Indigo Moon Film Festival. Where do you see it? What's the next step? What's ahead?
Good question. Well, we're still trying to grow it in the sense of letting people know that we're here. It's kind of funny because after the festival's over and we see people that we know, they say, "What have you been doing?" You know, we'll tell them, they're like, "Oh, there's a film festival here." So we really want to get the word out so that folks know there's a festival here. It's awesome. Come on down. It's not like you have to spend the whole day or the whole weekend. You can come down and watch one film. But it's great to be able to come down and support the arts here and support the artists. And film is such an underrepresented art in this area. So I hope everybody comes down.
Awesome. Thank you, Pat. Thank you, Jan.
Oh, thank you so
much. Such a pleasure. Yeah.
It's a big pleasure for us, and we hope you'll go see a lot of films.
We're gonna see so many. We're gonna see so many films.
Good.
And all the winning jury films are Sundays.
Yeah, they screen on Sunday afternoon, right?
Yeah, and the Dog Talk also. So if anybody missed the Dog Talk,
that's right.
Screen again Sunday.
Yeah. Also, Brian, I don't know if you've ever had Mission Barbecue, but they are catering.
Yes.
You had me at barbecue.
Yeah. The barbecue. On point. So
I want some ribs. I want some ribs.
I hate to have to make you watch me eat barbecue on Sunday, but I might have to do.
I'm not gonna watch it. I'm gonna be mad at you. I'll be mad at you.
We're gonna try to get Brian down here next year for this. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, hey, Brian, that's it for us here on this end. The studio audience is disbanded. There's just I think they're starting to wrap each other's wrists and have a Michael Jackson Beat It style knife fight.
Oh, nice.
Well, if you guys are trying to figure out where to go, we're having a party at my place. Boop, boop.
Oh God.
It's not across the street, sadly. You're gonna have to Uber there, unless the band's gonna run.
The wine is flowing. The barbecue is ready.
Brian, it was a pleasure streaming with you again this evening.
Always a good time to be had, my friend. Always a good time to be had.
Did you have any other final thoughts here before we sign off on this?
All I have to say is I think it's really, really great once again just to see the independent community coming together and to support each other, you know, and film is such an amazing media for doing that. And, you know, just to piggyback what was already said, you know, film has such a strong influence over our culture, the same as music does. And it's just great that things like this are happening. And I'm glad that we can be covering it. And I can't wait to do more.
Yeah, man. All right. Well, that's going to do it for us from here for tonight. We'll probably get back up with you sometime tomorrow then.
All right. Yeah, that sounds good. I made sure to keep the day relatively simple. So that sounds like a plan.
Right. And on Sunday, we have all the awards. And so we'll be here covering all of that as well. But yeah, that's going to do it for us for tonight, Brian. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Take care, Shane.
Yes,
all
sir.
right, everybody. That is Shane Wilson, and down there live in Fayetteville, North Carolina, dealing with the Indigo Moon Film Festival, and some amazing things going on down there. They're having a good time, and I'm actually a little bit jealous right now that I'm not down there having a good time as well. But you know, once again, and I can't stress it enough, make sure you support your independent independent film, independent writing, independent music, independent wrestling. Support the indies, because that's where, you know, with the money that we spend on the mainstream, if we put some of that energy and that tenacity and that ferocity into the independents, you know, everyday folks like you and I can thrive. So, you know, if you pick up a book by an independent author, you know, number one, don't go to an independent author or an independent filmmaker and start demanding things. You know what? Pick it up, you know, support it monetarily. And then leave a review on Amazon or IMDb, or, you know, if you watch an independent film on Amazon or on Hulu, you know, leave something, you know, go on their social media page, leave messages, you know, let them know that you saw it and that you appreciate it, and spread it with word of mouth. You know, that's the way it thrives. You know, that's the way it works. You know, if folks like Tyler Perry can start from the bottom, build independent, and become a global phenomenon, you know, anyone can do it. It just takes a community to uplift art. So I'm gonna leave you guys with that right now.